All right, let's get started. Today's 3 projects. Dive on in. First one, I should rename it. It's not garment adjustment. That makes it sound like you're doing a hem on a skirt, but you're not. First one is you're going to have garments that you have to change the color, but all 5 garments that you're going to be changing have to be the exact same color. So think of a catalog. You're working in a catalog. They only have one garment of each color selected, but they're going to sell it in 5 different colors. So you got to change that color.
We did that with the cars last week.
Yeah, but now this is garments. It's different. It's not shiny plastic. It's all different. And not all the garments are like a single color. So some are white, some are tan. You get what you get, but you got to match colors. Like they need it for the catalog. It's your job. What? The catalog's launching. It's Christmas. Amazon needs to get their catalog out. So we'll work on that. We'll do duotones. Duotones is crazy simple, which is kind of funny. Because I went over this again. I was like, oh shit, I forgot. It's like a 1-step process. But going in and manipulating it is where it gets a lot of fun. So we'll do duotones. And then the special effect is to make your name look like it's underwater in a pool. So fun stuff. And it's just, these are items 1, things that can happen in the real world as a photographer, as a person working in the creative industry. They're going to look to you to make image changes. It's always good to know how to do other advanced techniques that you can tell people about, like, oh, hey, and if you wanted your blah blah photo, we can do this, and I can do this. And they're like, oh, great. And then underwater effects, hey, it's always fun if you can, push your skills and get work in different areas. I was talking to a buddy who is a photographer, freelance commercial photographer, and he kind of even told me, he's like, I know I get more or certain jobs because I can also do the Photoshop work, and there's other people in the area who are photographers who can't, and so they now come to me because I can flex my muscles in Photoshop. It's just not, here's your photos back, but oh, you want them adjusted, you want this thing in there, I can do it, and then he gets a little bit more work that way. So knowing what you can do beyond the camera is helpful. So always good to know extra tips, extra tricks to get extra work. Let's talk about the garment.
Fast, can I just throw this out?
Yeah.
Class across the hall went to Kohl's Studios the other day, and if you've never seen or heard or been to Kohl's Studios, it is mind-blowing. It's a village unto itself, literally, right? Because it's powered by its own solar grid and all that, blah, blah, blah. So that's where they photograph all the pictures and for all the Kohl's department stores. So cross your fingers if they're still gonna stay afloat. Anyway, some of the stylists now, right? When I went on a tour like 3-4 years ago, the stylists were the ones who were fluffing the pillows for the photographer to take the picture of the bedding and whatever. The stylists are now taking the pictures. So photographers are just setting it up, and then the stylist just comes on, boop, 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 and if they don't like the way it looks, then they move it, and because all the settings are done by that photographer. What Joel is saying is, you have to have more than one skill. Hitting that shutter button is not going to be enough if you're looking for employment. So, learn how to be that stylist, learn how to be that Photoshopper, etc.
Yeah, if you can offer, here's the shot you asked for, but here's a shot that I did based on what you asked for, but I embellished it. It's the best word I have. And you do that, and they're like, oh my God, that's we like that much more. You just sold yourself like more work, which is a great thing to do. All right, garment adjustment. I did this for you. I did this morning. I was gonna have you guys find your own, but I was like, you know what? Nuts to that. Let's have them download them. So let me clear my downloads. Downloads. You just click on it, and it should take you to these 5 images. You are gonna do all 5 images. You can just download them. I hate when it does that. Which one didn't I get? There we go. Now, what I want you to do is you got to make all your images precise and concise, and I want them all sized the same. It's up to you. You know, you open all 5, you open in Photoshop. Maybe you start with a standard size. Like maybe for me, I would be like, okay, I'm going to offer these all up in new file. 1920 by 1080. Is that too big? No, we'll do 150. That's just like a standard. Okay, maybe I'll go with that, but maybe I'll crop it. So what if I place and embed all my images? So you go to File. This part takes a couple minutes. Place embedded. And then I'm going to go dress shirt, place. Get that Joker in there. I did my best. Stock photography sucks. And I did the pay stock photography, and it still sucks. Don't show this again. But once again, it is what it is. Place embedded. So that was dress shirt. Then there's a dress. Double click. File. Place embedded. Oh, should the yes.
But that one's just the dress, not the turtleneck underneath, correct?
Oh. Wow. I didn't even notice that. That was 2 separate items.
Oh.
No, I want both. I think both. You know what? I'll leave it up to you. If it looks goofy, if your color looks goofy with white underneath, then I'll be like, well, I guess this isn't a fashion class, is it? Sorry. That's that question where I'm like, man. So I work with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and those kids are like, you cannot generalize at all. If you generalize, they're like, no, but you said this, and you're like, oh my God. Like, you know, like you're like 2 to 3 inches, and they're like, what does that mean? You're like, somebody to, you're like, okay, precisely 2.25 inches. They're like, okay, fine. And now I can move on. It's like, oh my God, you guys don't know how to like generalize. Like the dress, the outfit. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that was a hat, jacket, and last one, file, place embedded. Pants. Yeah, this guy, not happy with it. All right. So I have a document set up. Knowing all of my images, like that's kind of the biggest. Let's see, this one or this one. So I can crop in. So I'm going to crop down to this size because I want all of the images need to be the same size. That was the requirement. Why? It's just a requirement. It is what the client asked for. So then we check on this guy, and he's perfectly cropped. Go her. What do we need to do? You add the background to fill it out. I don't want black background, but just add the background to fill it out. How would we do that? Well, if you have generative AI, you fill the background. So you can fill this. Back in the old day, I would just do this. Grab that part, copy, paste, move it over. And I'll probably flip it. So then I'm going to flip it. So it's a highlight on this side, and it gets darker towards her. So then I'm going to flip it. So now that bright area is in the same spot. Get it overlapped a little bit. Sometimes you can stretch it, sometimes you can't, but see how kind of seamless that is because I brought those two together and matching that one side. And then sometimes you can just pull. I'm gonna hold down shift. Now I'm always like, never stretch. This you can stretch. So that's fairly seamless. I might go in, if there's like a hot spot, I can see a little bit more on mine. I might blend out the hot spot. You just blending tools and things, but it's pretty good. So that's how I do it. You can ask the generative AI to fill it for you. see if it does it, you know, fill with same background. Oops, what did I do? Just doing the same thing. Pull it over. This one's gonna be harder because I have less space, but the same amount to fill. Flip horizontal. Pull this one. What you don't want to have happen is for you to notice the pixelation starting to happen. So if the background is busy, you need to fill it. If the background like this isn't busy, by me stretching pixels, it's so mushy and fine, you're not going to notice. Somebody's not going to notice like, oh, it seems to like blur out and get crappy toward the edges. And then you can just place her on top of those and merge down if you wanted. Merge down. So that's the one thing. So all your images should end up being like the same size, right? We need a consistent size. That's what the catalog owners told us. Now, you can pick your own color, but every item that's listed needs to be the same color. Blue, green, red, purple, magenta, anything, it's your choice. Let's go with a really ugly color. I don't have keys to that door.
Yeah, I see you have paper towel.
Oh, in my pocket, yeah. No, I don't have paper towel.
I don't know. They're behind that door.
Well, yes, I know that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. They didn't refill the paper towel in the dark room, and so there's none in there. Let us
Oh.
spill coffee on themselves.
Oh, wow. You're supposed to have a coffee in the dark room. All right, so select the garment. Well, that object select worked magnificent. It got the shirt. So because I was able to do that, I can make a new layer, and I'm going to call it shirt blue. No, teal. I picked a really crappy color on purpose. And then I'm just going to go to edit, fill, foreground color, and I'm done. That looks great. And we call it a day. And we say, there's the guy in his shirt. Thank you very much. Well, the first thing I'm doing, I have it separated. But the things you have to think about is the same things you have to think about with the car. And I have that list on the, I think I listed it out. You have to look for like snaps, buttons, zippers, cords, belts, jewelry, anything that's coming over. Because if you look at the buttons, are the buttons the same exact color as the shirt, or should you change them? You know, like, do the buttons, like when you do it, do the buttons just like, look, they blend in, or should you maybe go in and like erase out a little bit, make the buttons a little bit brighter, because buttons never exactly match the fabric. Maybe they do on super high-end stuff, but you have to like think about that and look at all that. Like if it's a black, darkish zipper, are you going to end up seeing your color come through the zipper? Well, then you got to erase it so it's not, that color isn't on the zipper. Earrings, you remember the Frankenstein? Like when I was like, he's married, you got to not color his ring. His ring isn't part of the color. Like all those little small details. The other ones are highlights and shadows. You got to make sure the shadows, one, that there's some highlights. Highlights is a different color. Like my shirt isn't monotone. God, I should bring that in sometime. So I have, you guys learn about lighting? Do you guys use like, they're called like single wavelength lights. So a single wavelength light, I have these flashlights. It's a red, I have a red, a green, and a blue. And it's an LED and it's single wavelength. So when you shine it on something, it chromas everything to that blue, and there's no other color reflects off. It's a very trippy experience. there's a website that has like a picture, like with this guy with a yellow light. He turns on this yellow light. Everything looks like it's black and white, like, but the white is yellow.
Mhm.
And then when he turns off the light and turns on the white light, he's got a rainbow of stuff behind him. He's wearing bright colored clothes, but because it's a single wavelength only, it shuts everything out. So you don't want that look. And that's the look that would happen if you did that. Let's see.
What size was your canvas, Joel, for that Photoshop
Oh, I don't know.
assignment? So it's whatever they choose.
Yeah.
Okay, so as long as everything's the same size.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, D&H sells it.
No, I don't like quote me on the exact name.
No, I'm not.
But it's-
Sounds like a fun toy.
Images. If I find it later, I'll share it with people. It was just like an offshoot that I thought of. So that's like, we don't want that look. So if I just simply take the teal shirt and I go to like, and I start going down like darken, multiply is what I'm talking about. Multiply, it just looks like somebody just put a transparency on it. And then look at that, it missed some. So I'm gonna go in with my paintbrush. Missed his collar there. Jesus Christ, it's a big paintbrush. Oh, and then I'm fooled because I have giant things for you guys. Those four. All right, okay. So it's flat looking. It's still flat looking. So there's a couple more, don't stop, multiply. This looks fantastic, but it's the color, like then everything has to be that color. So you go down that rabbit hole. Like I want all the shirts to look the same. This is better, I think, than multiply. You're getting some darks, but now you don't have, maybe say like highlights, where are the bright points? You can mess with opacity sometimes. And then like turn it off, turn it on, like I would lighten the buttons. I think the buttons look funny. So maybe you go in and you go in with an eraser and your eraser's set for opacity is like 25%. So that means every time you touched your eraser, it takes off 25% opacity. And I'll go down real small again and like do the buttons. That was kind of bad, but you look and then like you can streak highlights. Sometimes I do the highlights on a different. You're popping. See how the top button, it was too much, but see how like now these buttons just pop just a little bit more, and you kind of notice them. It's just not all blended in. You can go on a different layer, paint in some whites. Get a big brush, like not a huge brush, real soft. Is that what I want? Nope. That was what I wanted. Not very soft. And then like maybe you look around and you're like, oh, I'm gonna put, where are the highlights? Like somewhere on his arm. I'm just gonna do his arm. And you can just paint in like, you can't do it everywhere. You just kind of do like, they're highlights. It's not everywhere lights. I mean, his collar is going to have a little bit. There's like some up here. It's actually pretty, like once you start doing this, like you're like, oh, I'll just keep going. Like, and now he's got those little messes, and then you just start playing with it. This is highlights. So I'm gonna double click on this. Highlights, and then let's switch the opacity to like 25. I'll go a little bit bigger because then I'm going to blur it. Then I'm going to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, 20's too much. That was set from last, but just like enough to like bring in a little bit of life. So then there's some highlights. I mean, these are quickly put in, but it's just bringing up some like dimension back to the shirt. And that's what you need to do across like all of these. And when I compare them, I'm going to compare the color. So the dress should look the same color as the shirt. The hat should be the same color as the shirt. You know, like whatever color you use, I want it to look like the same color. Yes, there's some difficulties. This jacket is starting as light blue, and these pants are starting as tan. It's up to you guys to figure out how to adjust those. It's not as hard as you think. It's just going in and using your Photoshop skills. Does that make sense to everybody on how to do this? It's I won't say a longer project, but you should be able to knock each one out 20, 30 minutes. Some of them are easier than others. Yes.
More of a photography question than a Photoshop question. You initially said that you gave your opinion about stock images from a photographer's perspective. Addressing a generation that's all they've seen are stock images, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain why they don't make for good photography images?
Stock photography never has exactly what you want. And you think it would be obvious, but I think a lot of times, this is the way I think about it when I look at some of them. Oh, the photographer knew this person and was like, hey, can I shoot you? And then it's just like random, like, and I'm like, when am I ever going to need a picture of this? You know, like so many different weird faces, like poses. I'm like, I'm generally looking for a person that's like, you know, like a man in dress slacks, but he's like jumping. I'm like, no, can I just get the guy who's just like looks good in a dress pants and not doing something fucked up? Sorry, people.
Okay, well, with regard to the lighting, right, this guy
Oh.
is like 2 inches from the backdrop. The other fella.
This guy?
Yeah, really harsh shadow, no. Dress shirt.
Oh, dress shirty.
Yeah,
Yeah, a dress shirty was Adobe.
yeah, we would never do that with that harsh shadow. That's so distracting. I mean, the guy looks like he's in an interrogation.
Yeah.
You know, and just he's smile for the camera or you're going down. Well,
Yeah, I think that was an Adobe stock one.
At least 5 feet from the backdrop, unless you want to create some sort of dramatic look, but this is supposed to be selling shirts, not, it's distracting. The shadow is very distracting.
Here, I'll show you what does it save my searches? All right. What did I do? Like one of them, a person in dress pants. Search. No. Then I had to go through. I only wanted images. I only wanted photos. And then I took out exclude generative AI and I said all. And you end up, okay, a person in dress pants. No pants, no pants, no pants, no pants, dress pants. Like I had to like keep adjusting things. And I was like, I just want, and then I think I ended up writing like a business person standing in dress pants. And I was like, just goofy stuff. This actually isn't bad, but I wanted light pants. He was too dark. I didn't want to give you guys black pants and be like, change them to white and then change them to a color. So I had some parameters myself, but you just get weird stuff like then this, like who needs this image really? Like there are times where I would really like to see like how many of these sold, like you put them up on the board, but here's the other part. You participate in this and you just send in, okay, I think how it happens, you might have to show them a portfolio, then they accept your work, and then there's like another like layer of them accepting, but then you just like upload, and then if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's sometimes very frustrating. This is where like this one came up more than once. I'm like, what? So
So this is up to the photographer, right? As photographer guys, you are putting in keywords. You can embed keywords of each image that you take.
oh yeah, metadata.
Into either Bridge or it's easier Photoshop. And then you throw your stuff out on social media and people can actually search. We had one student, I mean, that's all she did. Keywords, and ultimately, you searched on ripe tomatoes or whatever, and hers came up because she had enough, people searching for that, whatever. So if you're getting some guy in a pink suit for dress pants, right? Because he put in every single word possibly connected to that clothing.
And I don't do metadata. Like I'm not a photographer, but I'm assuming to make it easier on your lives is make Word documents. Like you type them up and like just start having your keywords in a Word document that you can like move around and then copy and paste. Like you may start with one image and you're like, it's got all this stuff, and you're like, oh, I could use half of these words in a different one. And you just have them typed out and you group them, copy, paste them. And you're like, this is for this image, and then label it. And if you're clean with that, that will save you so much time. Like if you do a whole set, like say 20 images of a single model, 90% of that metadata should be the same. And then it's just like up close, like then you're changing like up close, just feet, like whatever that variable will be for that image, but it should be the same metadata. All right. Any other questions on making the garment the exact same color? All right. It's weird. I've had to do it. Oh, did we do it? Let me look at something. It's next week. All right, not next week. We don't have a next week. So I'm happy to tell you all that these assignments aren't due until December 3rd.
Yeah. Two of us have to cook turkey.
I do too. I could still get my homework done. That's Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. So, but yeah, okay. The one I was looking for, we're going to do next week. That's logo removal. All right. Duotones. This one is down and dirty, simple. It's fun. I have an image, but I'll start it and then show you what to do because I already have a pre-built image. So you're going to need to find an image. So I'm going to create a file. I'm going to close this guy out. And again, with this shirt and the changing the color, there's a ton of different ways, and you should try different ways. Again, it's like, what's my favorite? If I teach you only one way, your tendency is to just stick with that way. That's why I'm kind of generalizing a little bit of like, try things out, find your best way. Maybe even like Google YouTube and like garment color changes. Like somebody may have like this great thing, but it may work perfectly in one situation, not perfectly in another situation. So you have to be open to all those changes and how to get things to look consistent across 5 images. All right, so I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to create it 1920 by 1080. 1080 at 72. I can do any of that. So I'm going to hit create. Now I'm going to find an image of a person with a neutral background. I'm going to do that here. I'm just going to open up an old one and then just show you what I have. There's my picture of a person with a neutral background. There's not a lot going on. It's not a person. It's like a person with a backdrop. For this project, it'll look better. Not a person in the woods, not a super busy picture, not like, where I can't tell foreground, the background, or anything. I kind of want the model to stick out. The model is key. So place embed your image into the file, size the image to make sure the person in the image is nice and big. Like they're the focal point, right? Not small and to the side, not anything weird. We got them looking good. Now we're going to go to the lower layer menu and click the gradient map adjustment in the adjustment circles. I didn't know what to call it. I forgot what to call it when I was retyping this. So I'm going to go to that dot, and it is gradient map. It is the lower one, not the first one. We want gradient map. So I'm going to say it 3 times. Not the first one that says gradient, the lower one that says gradient map. Which one do we use? Gradient map. Not the first one, the last one that says gradient map. I know it will be confusing. Now, it comes up like this. Don't you worry. Now in the properties panel over here, you now have a gradient. Pick a gradient. So I'm going to click on this arrow here. Or you can double click and you'll get the gradient editor, which is the better one. So I just, on this black and white, I'm just going to tap on it. And now I'm going to pick a gradient. And I know the ones I want. The oranges or reds is really good. The gradients that work better are the more severe gradients. Oh, I'll do this one. Oh, I'll do this one. And then I'm going to click on it. Now, when I clicked on it, it looks a little bit crazy. But this is where you have your fun. You need to start moving your sliders, and you can add, remove, adjust colors. It's crazy. And I can take this picture that looks like a negative and just one or two moves, make it the correct positive. And it's just by moving these things at the bottom. So I'm just going to swap. I'm going to click and move one from one side and one to the other side and see what happens. And you can adjust the differences. Like maybe I want, what if I just remove that, move the green over, and then if you click, if I just tap and I should be able to double click on this. Come on. Oh, color here. And what if I change it to like something crazy? And you can just start like, see what happens. See now this is what I'm talking about. 2 changes, moving the sliders. I'm starting to like what I have here. And you can make adjustments with the brightness and contrast. Like I can add now another highlight, or if like the purple's too strong, or maybe I don't want the black. I want it to go to a blue. I'm going to go to a deep blue to really have that purple, the blue, and then it's got the green, and I'm going to add a highlight. Look, it makes her teeth black. So I'm going to change that color to like, let's see, even lighter. Oh, look at that. So now she's got like, she's peppered with like a little bit, and that may be too intense. And then I can drop the intensity. So you can play around with this duotone, and this is really it. This is the project, but I want you to do this 6 times. I want 6 unique duotones on one image, and just play around. And literally, it is a 3-step process, and you just start picking and moving. Picking and grabbing. Like, I love how sketchy this looks now. And then if you're like, oh, I love that look, you just go and start changing colors. What if we went evil? Go to red. And then this color could be orange. Oh, see? You never know what you'll get unless you just like try something. That's like, and then we'll change this. What if I do yellow here? Make it autumn. I mean, yeah. Beautiful autumn picture. I don't want to go blasting. And then instead of this green, like green highlight, the opposite of orange is blue. Well, that might be a little bit much. That may be a little bit much. Oh, I can drop the saturation. Oh, no, no. Can I adjust the opacity?
Maybe I can do
It's
some-
not horrible.
So here's the key. Nothing broke off.
Oh, location 100%. So there, you know, and you can, I want you to mess around. There's a nice one for fall. And then you could, you know, then they can type in their stuff in that blue color and play around. I love this effect, and this effect used to be a pain in the ass. Like you used to have to do all these other weird filters. Like this gradient mapping is wonderful. So give me 6 different gradient maps. I want to see 6 different variations, all different. A little bit here, a little bit there. Then you can do stuff like this, like you can add, because the gradient map is so like it does everything below it. You can add like a highlight, and all it does is it picks. I just painted with white in an area. Let me turn that off. What the background there? So see this white, and it like I erased around her elbow. So it's gonna say that white with this gradient map is blue. Or if I did black, it picks the dark color from the gradient map. So you can adjust how the lead-in looks. I can have the bright color lead-in, or I can have the dark color lead-in. What did I do here? You can do like weird like cosmic effects. If I change that to white, it's gonna be be the other color. Oh, I got color overlay on that. Oh, because I think that was my way. Oh yeah, because if you change this to white, then it's like the blue, and it's all based on your color map. What did I do here? Here's a sky blue one that I did. That's a standard. That one, oh, this is if the colors are too close together, it just kind of washes out. You need to highlight color, you need a dark color. This one looks like crap. This is blue one, just standard blue. Here's a trippy black and white one. That's the intro one though. So if you do this one, you double click there, you just swap these. And now you have a black and white photo. The long way to get from a color photo to a black and white photo. Use the gradient map. It actually looks good. I love the contrast on it. I'd be curious if it could do a better job just switching it to gray. So play around. Have some fun. Again, neutral background, nice image of a person. We're looking for, highlights, low light, contrasting, that'll make it look even cooler when you do the duotone. Any questions on the magic duotones? All right. Play around. See what colors come to your mind. It's so much fun. I wish I could use it more. So, all right. Final one. Water. Make your name look like it's underwater. This is a follow-through one. I have parts for you to download. So you click on the download here. You will have a font and an image. Please download both. By now you will know fonts, like how to do them. I'm going to open it up. The font is, now I had to do this. Load your font first and then restart Photoshop. Photoshop seems to not like new fonts. And then know the name of it. It came through really weird, but I also kept typing in the name by the wrong spelling. It's fiber, but it's R-E. Like, I don't know. Is that the French way to write fiber? I don't know. But like, I was like, how come I can't find the font? I like restarted Photoshop, did all this stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm spelling it wrong. So I'm just going to quit Photoshop and reopen Photoshop. And then I'm going to create a new file. It's 1920 by 1080 at 72. And I'm placing embed the water background image. Now you're also going to be doing some weird stuff. You have to save an image onto your desktop and then bring it back in for a special trick that it does. So it's not just like so much just following those FX. We're not doing, there's a little bit more complicated on this one. All right, so I should have it. So going through the steps, new file. I got a 1920 by 1080 already built in my recent items. I'm going to hit create. I'm going to go to file, place embed, place embedded. What is it? Embedded. It should be embed. There is a water image. Now, I installed the font. I should switch those steps. Let me switch those steps. Give me a second. I'm updating it. So you guys do the install the font first. All right. Save. Oops. Hold on. I want everybody to do wonderfully. Okay, create a new document, place embed. Using the text tool, type out your name and make it a gray color, 3C, 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 and make sure your name is pretty big. All right, so I'm going to go to the type tool. I'm going to tap it. I'm going to type in Joel. Jorl.
It's French.
Yes. I'm going to change it to FIBR. I'm going to change the color to 3C, 3C, 3C. I'm going to make it bigger so we can see it. And for now, I'm going to perfectly center it because you can. Make your text layer into a smart object. So I'm just going to simply right click on it and go to smart, create smart, convert to smart object. All right. Now I'm going to rotate. I'm going to take my type. I'm going to rotate it 15 degrees or there's about minus 15. You can choose whatever looks good to you. I'm actually going to do 10 today because I'm in control. Minus 10. And now I'm just going to move it up a bit. Just like that. Some of this is, you do it. And this is how does it look. Now I'm going to set the blending mode to soft light. That's just the start of this. How to create. Okay, so we're going to select the background layer. This background with the water. We need to copy this image and we're going to take it out and call it something else. So select the layer with the water background on it while holding down the Command key, click on the thumbnail layer, copy the selection. So however you want to do is copy the entire piece. Create a new document. So I'm going to go to File and New. And what it used to do, it does this great thing. I don't know if you guys know this. If you copy in Photoshop, if you copy something, it goes to what's called a clipboard. The computer knows it. When you go in Photoshop to create a new document, the very first one that will pop up is the exact size of your clipboard. So if I were to take a little square and just copy and paste it and start a new document, you can make a document the exact size of the clipboard, and it saves so much time. So like that's what that first one is. This is the size of your copy. I use this all the time, like if I'm working on something. So I'm going to create that. I'm going to hit create. I'm going to paste in, and then I'm going to file, and I'm going to save as, but I'm going to save it to my desktop, and I'm going to call it displace. And I'm going to hit save. All right, so now I just have this second document. It is the same water, but we're going to bring it in. There's this weird filter that we're going to bring it in, and it'll change some stuff. So go back to the original document, select the layer with your name on it, select filter, distort, displace. So I'm going to click on my name. I'm going to go to filter. Then I'm going to go to distort and displace. I get this little guy that comes up. I'm going to type in 50 for horizontal, 50 for vertical. I mean, I kept stretch the fit on. You can keep whatever comes up here. I think that's fine. Oh, I want to do something. I forgot to deselect. I just want to deselect. You got to make sure you deselect all the time. Sometimes I forget. So filter, display, sorry. So 50, stretch to fit is fine. Hit OK. So when I hit OK, it's going to open up this. And this is where I put in my displaced water image. And I hit OK. What that does is it is mapping my pixels to the water image pixels. So it like shifted it over. I don't know if I turn that off. See where it is like normal? And then if I turn it on, it like shifts it and it starts to distort it a little bit more based on its image. So that's what it does. Now I'm going to apply a Gaussian blur to the name. So I'm going to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I'm going to do, I said don't go over 4 because like you don't want it super bad, but you want it blurry, like it's down there, but not like so bad you can't read it. I'll go to 3.5. All right, now I'm going to simply make the text darker by duplicating I'm going to duplicate my name layer once, so it's darker. And now I'm going to duplicate my water. I'm going to bring one version on top, and then I'm going to set that one blending mode to screen and opacity 50. And then opacity is 50. And there you get your name at the bottom of a pool. So when you do those vacation postcards, you can love you from Florida, and it can look like it's underwater. Any questions about this one?
Yeah, what else did you do to it before you changed the opacity? You did something before you changed the opacity.
Which step are you on in the instructions?
You stopped at filter.
I use filter many times. Which filter?
The last filter, distort, what was it? I don't know.
Displace?
Displace. Is that what you used?
Did you type in your name?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So select the layer with the water background on it, copy, and then create a new document. Did you do that? And then you save the document to your desktop and call it displaced? Should I just put the instructions up here? It's hard for me to know where you're at when you say just use filter.
Yeah. If it's a black
Yeah, it's like, how did you get here? I drove a car. Which street did you take? I took the expressway. Like how, like,
Down to the last step before last.
does the filter distort displace?
Apply the blur, yeah, after that.
No, the blur?
Yeah.
So go back to your original document, select the layer with your name, select filter, distort, displace. In the pop-up dialog box, set the horizontal scale to 50, vertical scale to 50, select the stretch to fit, hit OK. Now select the displace.psd file that you created earlier that you should saved on your desktop.
So the pause button got hit here because when we were looking at your screen for your name, your layer looked like it was on like an empty layer.
Below
So
it,
where you have
that's-
Joel,
yeah?
you don't have,
Did you,
your background for Joel is gray and white, right?
yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
I never flattened layers.
Right, nor did Deshaun, and yet when he typed his, it showed up, even if he had the eyeball, it showed, when you turned that eyeball off, he never got that same background,
Did
the
you
clear,
convert it to a smart object?
he never got the clear background, so that's where the hangup was.
Oh, that's a whole different, he must have flattened it. At some point, a flattened happened.
Okay,
You can't, the text is
No,
always
no.
on its own layer.
right,
No,
it was.
I was trying to convert it to a smart object. When I did that, I saw that my name was under the water the same direction, 15 degrees.
It's just the thumbnail just looks different.
With a transparency background. And that's what I have, right here. That image. That- Because,
Yeah.
see, yep.
No, yeah.
What I'm saying as far as the step before last, we just have to do.
Okay, so.
Okay.
No.
So that, okay, so that, I just was trying to understand which step you were at, and then, because I use filter more than once in here.
And then if they do another question,
Yeah, which we always gotta, and these are available on Blackboard. All right, online people, thank you very much.